Welcome to the Chris Humphrey, or the Neuse.com postgame show presented by Chris Humphrey Allstate. I am Jimmy Smith. He's Bryan Hanks. Oh, wait a minute. I've already messed it up, BJ. I'm Bryan Hanks. He's Jimmy Smith, the legend, here in the studio with us on the Magic Mile. How are you doing tonight, Coach?
Great. This is something new for me.
It is. It's all this technology. Embrace it, Coach. It's awesome.
I'm trying.
It's beautiful. Listen, a very awesome night of football tonight. I hope you had a chance to, you probably just a few minutes ago finished listening to Junious Smith III and Graham Hill. That just amazing Rocky Mount Academy 58-48 game that Rocky Mount Academy beat Parrott Academy. Kind of was hoping the home team was going to come out with that, especially with it being a rematch of that state championship game that you and I covered last year. But you know what? If you got to lose a game, it's better to lose it early. Now, Coach Jimmy Smith and I, we had a chance to do the Kinston High School and Farmville Central game. Another very exciting
game.
Awesome game that Kinston High School rallied from a 10-point deficit with about a minute left before halftime and ended up winning that one 28-23. Ayden-Grifton had no trouble with Chocowinity Southside tonight. They defeat them 61-0. And then Bunn and North Lenoir. Bunn, in a rematch of last year's very controversial start to the season, Bunn ends up winning 34-7 in that game in Wheat Swamp tonight.
Show the scoreboard.
Yeah, that voice you hear, it's not the Wizard of Oz. That's BJ Murphy. He's back there running the show for us tonight. Now, we do ask you, please be a little bit patient with us here tonight, because we are, this is our first time too. We're very excited about it, but I got to admit, I'm a little bit nervous here, Coach.
You are.
Very good. Listen, did you know if you bundle your auto and life insurance policies with Chris Humphrey Allstate, you'll receive some great discounts. Be sure to find Chris Humphrey Allstate on Facebook and check out chrishumphreyinsurance.com. Chris and his team have access to incredible rates for property insurance, commercial insurance, and more. We'd like to thank Chris Humphrey Allstate for being the title sponsor of the Neuse.com post-game show, which airs every Friday at 11:30 p.m. this football season. And we couldn't be doing this. This is one of the things that BJ and I have talked about quite a bit, and Junious and the rest of us. And you and I have said it all season last year when we were doing, when we worked for 960's Bull. We can't do this if we don't have these sponsors to help us out. So please, give Chris Humphrey a call if you need some insurance, and he will definitely hook you up. This is a brand new thing for us here, Coach. And what we need you to do is make comments. You have an opportunity to, you're watching this. You just got through watching Brian North on Channel 12 or Billy Weaver on Channel 7 or Brian Bailey over on Channel 9. But you can't interact with them. Guess what? You can interact with us, and we want you to do that, okay? So jump in there, make your comments.
John Dawson needs $5 in for Mr. Smith to pop Hanks a good one.
Okay.
Oh, Lord. Okay, well, let's see how much that'll get up to there, Dawson. And if it goes up a little bit higher, then
we can be bought.
Yeah, hey, we can definitely be bought. Listen, we've got nice restaurants. I wasn't joking. We're in the Magic Mile right now as we're doing this show. And, hey, if we could get it up to 100, we could have us a nice dinner tonight, okay? That'd be awesome. I got no problem with that whatsoever. So,
we're going to get back to the scoreboard real quick.
Absolutely. Let us do that. Let us get back to score. Well, I want to tell people, too, don't forget that that Keith Spence is going to be joining us here shortly in a little bit. Junious Smith and Graham Hill, who you had a chance, I hope, tonight to listen to them call the Rocky Mount Academy and Arendelle Parrott Academy game. They're going to be joining us live. Where are they?
They'll be here shortly.
Okay, they're going to be up here on the screen with us here in a little bit. And also, Scott Cole is going to be calling in. He did that Ayden-Grifton game. So we're going to have a lot of fun. So please sit back where it's 11:34. We got about 25 more minutes of this. We're going to have a good time tonight. And please jump in there and make some comments. If there's something you want to know about the games that we were all at tonight, be sure to leave those questions for us. And I tell you what, we're just going to go ahead and start talking a little bit about our Kinston Farmville Central game that Coach Jimmy Smith and I did tonight. And Coach, I tell you what, a heck of a game.
Yeah, it was a game that so many momentum changes. I mean, like the first half, Farmville had the upper hand almost the entire game, and then right before halftime, it was it changed the whole complexion of the game.
Oh, it was crazy. You had it was 17-7, and Farmville Central had just gone down the field, kicked a field goal, put them up 17-7 with just a little bit over a minute left in the first half. And I got to tell you, I've seen teams in the past, and you have too, in your many years of coaching and even covering sports now. You go down 17-7, it's right before halftime. It's almost reflex sometimes, maybe to drop your shoulders and just be like, you know what, let's just get to halftime and try to collect ourselves. Instead, Kinston goes down the field, makes it 17-14 right before halftime. Come out in the second half, go ahead 21-17, and that's where the game changed, Coach.
Yeah, most coaches would say, okay, we just head them to a field goal. We're only down 10.5. We get the second half kickoff. Let's just knee down, go into halftime, only down 10, and make a game out of the second half. But Coach wouldn't let his kids. He would take it in 2 plays. They scored.
Tell you what, and here's the thing, and I don't know. It's game 1 of the season. I'm trying not to overreact already, Coach, because you've been around me for 16 years. I know I'll make rash judgments and, make decisions or say stuff that I probably don't need to say. But I'm going to say this now, so you might need to stop me if I go too far. I can't see, and nothing against last year's Kinston team. They were good. They went 9-3, got bounced in the first round of the playoffs. But I saw a little bit of quit in them sometimes. I did not see that tonight, Coach. And I don't know if that was – and nothing against the players that were on last year's team. They played really well, and they did a really good job. But I don't know, Coach. I just wait a minute. I forgot I'm supposed to – here's my prop. I'm supposed to hold my Kinston helmet up there.
Go Vikes.
Yeah, go Vikes. Good job tonight. You want to put that on, Coach? But I got to tell you, sincerely, I was impressed with the effort tonight. I don't remember the last time, maybe that championship year in 2015 when Kinston they had no quit in them tonight, Coach.
They had every chance. I mean, a hot, humid night down 17-7 and going nowhere the first half. Had it been for the big play, they wouldn't have had a point on the board the first half. But then all of a sudden, they just, like I say, because they wouldn't quit, they changed the whole momentum of the game around.
Okay, for the kids who are out there who don't know everything about Coach Jimmy Smith, let me tell you about him, okay? He was a record-setting quarterback at North Lenoir, at South Lenoir back in the 1840s, okay? Okay, I'm exaggerating a little bit there, but in the late 1960s, Coach Smith was the starting quarterback and set, I don't know, and I'm not even exaggerating here, dozens of records, of passing records down at South Lenoir High School. So one thing I've done, you really do, you get to know your quarterbacks pretty well. Tell you what, Kinston High has got a pretty good quarterback, don't they?
Yeah, he does. He's got a very accurate arm, and he creates plays with his feet also. So he's going to be invaluable. It's going to be critical to keep him healthy during the course. He took several hits tonight. He made some big runs, so he's got to stay healthy. I think he carried that team a long ways on his shoulders.
Well, the thing that impressed me about, and I mean, you can just look straight at the stats. They score 4 touchdowns. He's responsible for every single touchdown. He rushes for the first one. It was a 4-yard run, 5:09 left in the first quarter. Then he throws 3 touchdown passes, Coach, not to one receiver, to 3 different receivers. He threw it to Jaquel Jacobs, a 35-yard touchdown pass with 47 seconds left in the first half, and that was the one that got him back to within 17-14. They come out of halftime. He connects with B.J. Luter for a 26-yard pass, and then the touchdown that really put everything away was a 8-yard touchdown pass from Hooker to Kari Pitts with about 4:23 left in regulation, and that's what made the score 28-17 at that point. Hooker, just a great job tonight. I guess that's where I was going with that, with you being so close to quarterbacks. He did just a tremendous job tonight.
And I don't think he even mentioned what I think was the biggest play of the game was the first play of that 2-play drive where he was – Farmville Central had him sacked. He broke loose for like a 35-yard run to set up the touchdown pass right before halftime.
Well, not only did he do it though, Coach, with his arm, which he threw for 116 yards, and like I said, 3 touchdowns tonight. He also did it with his feet too. He had 10 rushes for 43 yards. But you and I were looking at the stats right before we went live here, and one of the things that really impressed me was the way Coach Gieselman and the Kinston offense really spread the load with the rushing. This is what's crazy, and you're going to see the story. And be sure, I guess I should have, BJ, I should have told everybody, be sure to read all our stories that we're going to have up on Neuse News, probably by 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning, because Usually we'd be getting our stories done right now, but since we're getting ready for this little show, it's going to be a minute or two before we get them up. Probably about 12:30, 1 o'clock. But visit www.neusenews.com and read all the game stories. William Bud Hardy was out there at Kinston and at North Lenoir tonight. Took a ton of pictures, did a great job. My phone was just blowing up over here with all the pictures he was sending us. So be sure that you check neusenews.com for that. But back to all the great rushers that Kinston had tonight. When you look and you see the leading rusher for Kinston tonight, 3 guys had 10 rushes each. Jaden Whitfield, Justin Holloway, and Kieran Hooker, as we were talking about. However, Whitfield rushed 10 times for 60 yards. Justin Holloway, 10 times for 57 yards. And then Kieran Hooker, 10 rushes for 43 yards. I tell you, when's the last time we've seen a team have 3 rushers with 10 carries each, Coach?
That's balance. I didn't realize it was that way. I mean, but that's pretty. It's hard. As a defensive team, you can't focus in on one. You got and Kinston spread their wealth pretty good.
I'll tell you what. You look at usually Kinston, who usually has that superstar. I mean, they had the Quentin Cobles through the years. They had, to me, I always considered C.J. Bradshaw a serious superstar, and Thomas Vermillion when he was the quarterback there. The Keys brothers when they were at Kinston High School. Just a tremendous job as being star players. Other than Hooker, now Hooker's going to be a really good player. There's not a star on this Kinston team, and that's what impresses me the most about them. Tell you what, Diesel, or Ryan Gieselman, everybody calls him Diesel. Diesel has really got these kids buying in this year. And again, I'm trying not to overreact. It's the first game of the year. They played a pretty good Farmville Central team the way they did, but I'm telling you something. I can't help but one game in already feel that this is special. What do you think, Coach?
They made a lot of improvement from their scrimmage last week in Jacksonville to the performance now. If they continue to improve, and then no doubt Coach Keys is going to keep them focused, it could be something special.
Absolutely. So let's talk about our good friends over at Lenoir Community College. If you missed fall registration at Lenoir Community College, it's not too late to change your world by registering for late start classes that begin August the 27th. Whether you're working on a degree, a diploma, or certificate, do you need a degree, diploma, or certificate?
I probably need to redo some of the ones I got.
Wait a minute, you went to state. Did that even?
They don't even count.
Okay, there you go. You can check out the complete course listing at www.lenoircc.edu. You can apply right now. Financial assistance and scholarships are available. Visit lenoircc.edu. Knowledge that empowers. Thank you so much to Lenoir Community College. We love Richie Honeycutt. We love Dr. Rusty Hunt and all the folks over there. Deborah Grimes, a good South Lenoir girl over there at South. Can I call Deborah Grimes a girl?
The president of the board's pretty good, Randy Smith.
I don't know. I've heard about him. Okay. We're getting a signal to keep going. Thank you to Lenoir Community College. Really, particularly we love all our sponsors, but love the good folks over at Lenoir Community College. So, I think, if I'm correct, is that's it. What's that signal he's making back there right now?
I've got Graham on the line.
What's this mean? Okay.
Graham's on the line.
Very good. I'm going to reach up here and get this. Graham Hill, who had the play-by-play for tonight's exciting Arendelle Parrott Academy, Rocky Mount Academy game, is joining us here on the post-game show, brought to you by Chris Humphrey Allstate. Graham, tell us a little bit about that game tonight.
Well, first of all, Bryan, I just want to say I really wish with all my heart that I could be with you in the studio right now as I'm currently pulled over on the side of the highway just so this connection will go through. But great, one of the craziest high school football games I think I've ever seen. I mean, this game pretty much had everything. It had lead changes, tempers flaring, clock management issues. It's just a wild game to kind of start off the 2018 football season for Junious and I to cover.
Well, very good. I'll tell you, Coach Smith and I are here, and we had a chance. Last year we did the state championship game. Sounds a little bit like what you guys had tonight. It was 66-60. Rocky Mount Academy defeated Arendelle Parrott Academy in the 2A state championship last year. In a game that went back and forth and back and forth. Now, I've got to admit, I didn't have a chance to really look at what you guys were tweeting throughout the night, but a lot of similarity to that state championship game last year, right?
Well, it's kind of funny, Bryan, because in the first half, you didn't really see a lot of similarities to that state championship game. I mean, Rocky Mount came out and scored early, drew first blood, and they couldn't convert on a 2-point convert, or excuse me, they actually did convert on a 2-point conversion. So they went up 8-0 early, but then Herod came back and answered that right away, scored actually right after Rocky Mount scored their first touchdown. Herod responded with a kickoff return by Shy Thompson for the Patriots. Matthew Humphrey, was the one that scored. He scored a 76-yard kickoff return to get the Patriots on the board first. And after that, it was just all a Randall Parrott Academy in the first half. With and Matthew Huntley, credit to him, he played both sides of the ball very well tonight. He had 3 interceptions on defense, along with 2 more touchdowns that added to the game. And really, the Patriots went into the locker room up by a score of 34-14. Now, that second score came with a little hook and ladder play that Rocky Mount was able to connect. And going into the locker room, Rocky Mount seemed a little more fired up, as it looked like, Pierre was going to run away with the game. And then when the second half got underway, I'll kind of let Junious come in and tell everybody what happened in the second half.
Very good. Joining us now here on the call, Junious Smith III, an award-winning writer. We're very happy to have him here at Neuse News. And I hope you, again, Junious, I hope people had a chance to listen to you guys tonight. How much fun was it hanging out with Graham Hill tonight?
Listen, it was a blast hanging out with Graham Hill.
We're still hanging out. We're still trucking.
Well, tell us a little bit about that. Tell us a little bit about that second half, JS3.
That second half couldn't have been any worse for Randall Parrott, especially that third quarter. They were up 34-16 at halftime. Actually, it scored 34 on Hampton before that hook and ladder play that Graham had alluded to. That made the score 34-16 at the half. Parrott came out. They wound up with scoring a touchdown. So 40-16. We're thinking that Randall Parrott was about to put their foot on the gas, and then all of a sudden, they could not hold on to the ball. Randall Parrott lost the ball 6 times, including 3 times in a row, literally on 3 touches. 1 fumble to hit drive, Rocky Mount scored a touchdown. Then on the kickoff return, a fumble, Rocky Mount eventually scored a touchdown. And then another fumble on the kickoff, Rocky Mount scored a touchdown. Suddenly it's 44-40. Rocky Mount Academy would end up adding another touchdown to make it 51-40 with 8:17 to go. So that's 35 unanswered points after the Patriots had put up 34 unanswered in the first half. Now, the Patriots weren't able to get a touchdown. That could be the answer, a 12-yard strike to William Hill to get within 3 with 7 minutes to play. But Rocky Mount Academy was able to convert on a 4th and 6 by Jacob Brady, who was the hero of that championship game. And they were eventually able to punch it in for a score with 3 minutes to play, and the Patriots couldn't do anything after that.
Very good. Well, listen, I got to ask you this. We got to go. I'm getting a signal from boss man over here telling us to wrap this thing up. But I got to ask, what was the mood of the team like? I mean, it's one of the things I've really enjoyed, and I know you have too, Coach Smith, of covering Matt Beeman. He's one of those good guys that he's always the same, win or lose. What was he like after the game? What was the mood of the team like after the game, especially dropping a heartbreaker like that?
Well, talking to Coach Beeman, he said that, the team was able to do pretty much anything that they wanted to offensively early, but they just were not conditioned. I mean, there was a time where, Craven really took over this game on both sides, but it hit a Randall Parrott pretty hard. At one point in time, they were actually going to that 5th straight quarterback. So he said that it was one of those things that he took the blame for not having them well conditioned. And the good thing about these two teams, about Parrott, they will get another chance to play Rocky Mount Academy in the regular season on October 5th. This one in Kinston at Hodges Field. So he said that this team is going to be better suited. They're going to be ready, and I believe.
I do too. Listen, Junious Smith III, Graham Hill, pulled over on the side of the road somewhere in eastern North Carolina. I hope you got your blinkers going, right?
Got to turn them off.
Okay, very good. Listen, guys, be safe.
That's not dedicated.
Say that again.
We had to turn the blinkers off because it was interfering with the sound, but we're dedicated. And we want to make sure we sound clear coming through the line.
That's awesome.
Brian, one more thing. I know you're saying that, we'll probably get everything in like 12:30, 1 o'clock. Mine will be a little later.
Okay, hey, you know what? I'm more concerned with you guys getting back safe to Lenoir County. Thank you again. Junious Smith III, Graham Hill. They'll probably, hopefully, the plan is, right, they're going to be here with us next week on here in the post-game show. But thank you so much again to Graham Hill and Junious Smith III. You like Mexican food?
I like any food.
Oh, I do too, man. I'm telling you, one of our community's hottest Mexican restaurants, San Juan, is now offering online ordering. Now, you know what that means, right? Online ordering. You get on your computer,
Yes,
you know.
sir. I can order anything.
Okay, very good. Try this. Text the word El Nuevo to 33733 and download their app. Now, you spell it out, ELNUEVO, El Nuevo, to 33733. You'll see their full menu, find all your favorite dishes, place your order, check out, and choose when you want your order to be ready, all from the app. First time mobile orders will get 15% off. Now, I'm going to tell the truth. I love truth in advertising. I haven't done this yet, but you know what I'm going to do before next week's show?
Do it.
I'm going to do this right here, and I'm going to order some delicious, yummy food from San Juan by doing that. Again, text word El Nuevo to 33733. Let me spell it out for you because, you know, if you're like me, you're not real smart. It's ELNUEVO to 33733. Tell them that Bryan Hanks and Jimmy Smith told you to do it. And guess what? They'll give you 15% off.
Just because of us.
Just because of us. Download the app or call San Juan Mexican Restaurant at 252-527-2519.
Got Keith Spence on the line.
Very good. Well, we're going to talk about our very next game, Bunn and North Lenoir. Now, last year, Coach, when Bunn and North Lenoir played each other, it was a 31-30 last-second victory for Bunn over North Lenoir in Bunn. However,
Controversial.
it was very controversial the way it ended. However, not the situation tonight. A 34-7 victory for Bunn over in Wheat Swamp. And Keith Spence is on the line with us right now. What's up, dude?
Hey, dude, what's going on? Hey, Coach, how are you?
Fine, Keith. Hope you are.
Well, I tell you what, a little bit of a different result this time. I mean, we really thought, in fact, we did, Coach Smith and I did our pregame stuff for 960 The Bull, and I picked Bunn to win, but I really thought it was going to be close. Coach picked North Lenoir to win. What happened tonight?
Well, North Lenoir came out and they turned the turnover into the first points of the game, so they actually went up 7-0. But Bunn, first of all, is an outstanding football team. I mean, make no mistake, they're very, very good. And this is a team that's gone 32-9 and played for a state championship 3 years ago. So they're tradition rich, and they basically wore North Lenoir down with its running game. They ran for over, I believe it was 342 yards. So they just kind of wore North Lenoir down as the time went along.
Well, and we were following it on Twitter too, and North Lenoir was up 7-0 at the end of the first quarter. So that's what it was, just more a war of attrition that North Lenoir unfortunately lost.
Yeah, and there was after Bunn scored its first touchdown, North Lenoir went down and drove into the Bunn 11-yard line, and they had an incomplete pass, a quarterback sack. They lost some yards, and they ended up having a field goal blocked. So they came away with nothing. And then on the second play, after Bunn took over on the 20, they have a kid named Quentin Perry who scored 4 touchdowns and ran for 179 yards. He busted an 80-yard score, and that just completely swung the momentum in Bunn's favor.
Well, I know. I'm looking at your stats right now, and Quentin Perry, 14 carries, 179 yards. That's not a bad little percentage there, is it?
No, and he had a 42-yard touchdown run. He little quick scat back kind of kid, and you gave him some space, he was gone. Very good.
Keith Spence, thank you so much for joining us here on the NeuseNews.com postgame show presented by Chris Humphrey Allstate. We'll see you next week. I think we just hung up on him. That's all right. Listen, we're also proud to be sponsored in part. This show is by ServPro of Lenoir, Duplin, Jones, and Wayne counties. ServPro specializes in fire, water, cleanup, and restoration, making it like it never happened. ServPro is locally owned and operated by Tony and Charlene Turner, and they're thrilled to be a part of our broadcast. Please give them a call at 208-7888. And one of the things that bear in mind, like we said, this is our first show. So I'm trying to get used to everything that's going on, but we've got a lot of viewers who are watching all the reactions. Miss Harvey, Eleanor Harvey said, hi, guys. It's good to see you. Hey, Miss Harvey. Tom Vermillion, great job, guys. Love the coverage. Thank you so much there, Tom. Deborah Moody, one of my neighbors in my neighborhood, and just a great lady. Great job, guys. Love my Neuse News. We love you too, Deborah. Thank you. And just everybody, Vicky Stroud Moody, everybody, thank you so much. If you are watching this right now, please go ahead and jump online. I think what do we got, about 5 or 6 more minutes here?
That's it.
About 5 or 6 more minutes. Get your comments in. We would love to see what you thought. If you were out at a game tonight, let us know what game you were at. We would love to get your word or get your voice in there. On the line with us right now. Now, we had some pretty good games here tonight. Our boy Scott Cole, unfortunately, was not at one of them. Scott was at the 61-0 Ayden-Grifton whitewash of Chocowinity Southside tonight. And Scott, was it as bad as the final score?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. That'd be awesome. Scott's like, yeah, gotta go.
Brian, I know you've been to a lot of Parrot games. This game seemed a lot like one of theirs, where they come out strong. They let the other team go 3 and out, and then they score on the second play. And that's what Ayden-Grifton played like tonight, except this was 11-man football. They allowed maybe 100 yards total offense against them, while they had over 300 themselves. Michael Webb, huge shout out to this kid. He had 2 touchdowns on 2 carries for 69 total yards, 1 reception for 25-yard touchdown. He had an interception. He had a fumble. Ray Darden had 144 yards with 2 touchdowns. Their defense was killing it the entire night. Their special teams, and that's what Coach Cornell really hit big on. They blocked 1 punt, tipped another one that went maybe 10 yards. The first play of the game, they kicked off and got a fumble recovery on the 20-yard line. Their kicker hit all but 2 of the extra points, 7 out of 9. I mean, you couldn't ask. They played a flawless game. They recovered 4 fumbles, and like I said, got the interception. Strong on defense, strong on offense. They only had 8 first downs, but they kept scoring on the 2nd or 3rd down anyway. Coach Cornell really said that the test of the team is going to be next week against Pamlico. Pamlico is a very fast-paced, very aggressive team. But he says if they play like they do tonight, they're going to be forced to reckon with. I've covered Ayden-Grifton for the last 3 years. This is the best I've ever seen them play.
Well, we were making our predictions. Junious and I were talking to each other earlier. I've actually got Ayden-Grifton going 9-2 going into the playoffs this year and winning the league this year. So to me, that shows that's sort of a microcosm of what they're going to do all season if that happens.
And I can see that this team is a lot better disciplined than last year, a little bit more mature than last year. They have a lot of warriors on there like Dunn, Webb. Heck, their backup quarterback scored 2 touchdowns scrambling at the end of the game, and it wasn't like he's playing against scrubs. I mean, he's running hard. This is a team. No team is perfect, but they looked flawless. But they also didn't look, cocky and arrogant enough where they're going to let you come back.
Well, Paul, I can promise you this: Paul Cornwell would not let that happen. Listen, Scott Cole, we're up against the clock here. Thank you so much for covering that. Thank you for joining us here on the NeuseNews.com postgame show presented by Chris Humphrey Allstate. We will see you next week. Listen, let's quick hit these scores here, and I can't believe 29 minutes has already gone by. I mean, this is fun. I'm having too much fun. Here are the scores from all of tonight's games. Let's see. We're going to do South Central first. South Central defeated Greene Central 18-14, and I know we're up against clock, but we've got to talk about this for a second, BJ. I was shocked by this. I really thought if I were establishing a spread, I would have said South Central, by 3 touchdowns. What does that tell you about Greene Central, Coach Smith?
Evidently, it was stronger than what I thought they were.
Absolutely. Jones Senior and Northside. Now, that is about what we thought it was going to be. Northside down in Jacksonville defeats Jones Senior 46-0. East
Same
Duplin
thing.
is going to be awesome this year. They're one of the favorites to win the entire 2A championship, not just in the East, but overall. East Duplin defeats Richlands 63-12. And then Havelock over West Craven 48-20, a game that we figured that's probably what was going to happen. Now our local games that happen. Farmville Central and Kinston. Kinston defeats Farmville Central 28-23. You've heard Junious Smith III and Graham Hill talk about the Rocky Mountain Academy APA game. APA loses 58-48 in that one. Bunn defeats North Lenoir 34-7. And then the final game of the night, Ayden-Grifton 61-0 over Chocowinity Southside. Listen, here are our games next week. We've got some very exciting games that we'll be broadcasting. Kinston is at North Pitt next week. Farmville Central is at North Lenoir. That is going to be the game of the week for us, the bowl game of the week. I'm forgetting our sponsor, and I know they are Jason Davis Wholesale Tire. Sorry, Ruben. The Davis Wholesale Tire game of the week. How many times did I say that tonight? About 15 times.
Don't forget to mention the replay tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock.
Absolutely. Thank you, BJ. What you need to do is tune in to 9:60 a.m. Anywhere in Lenoir County. The signal is awesome. 9:60 a.m. You can listen to the replay of Coach Jimmy Smith and I calling the game, that 28-23 very exciting game win of Kinston over Farmville Central. Or if you can't pick it up, if you're watching us on Facebook in Montana right now, I don't know why you would be doing that if you're in Montana right now, but if you're watching us anywhere and you can't get the radio signal, you can listen to it on 960thebull.com starting at 9 a.m. tomorrow, and you can hear actually the postgame or the pregame show, the King's Restaurant pregame show with me and John Dawson, and then you'll get to listen to Jimmy Smith and I, Coach Jimmy Smith and I, do the play-by-play of the game. But next week's games: Kinston at North Pitt, Farmville Central is at North Lenoir. Again, that's the game you and I are doing. South Lenoir at Jones Senior, Greene Central is at CB Aycock, and Pamlico is at Ayden-Grifton, and we will be covering every single one of those games. All the games we had tonight: Farmville Central and Kinston, Bunn at North Lenoir, Parrott at Rocky Mountain Academy, South Central at Greene Central, Chocowinity Southside at Ayden-Grifton, Jones Senior at Jacksonville Northside. Be sure to check Neuse.com here in just a little bit, and you will be able to read game stories and pictures from all that. Big shout out to William Bud Hardy. Everybody knows Bud. He's just a great American. Oh, look, some woman named Becky Smith. Do you know her?
No.
Well, she's too pretty to be associated with you, so there you go. But she says, great job. Chris Decker, nice work, fellas. Thank you so much for that, Chris. Lisa Faye Williams, great job enjoying the coverage. Thank you. Listen, guys, thank you so much. This is our first time. We didn't know what to expect. I got to tell you, BJ Murphy is a crazy man, okay? And he says, we're going to do this and we're going to do that. And I say, how is that going to happen? But guess what he does, Coach?
He makes it happen.
He makes it happen. It's crazy. He does. But so next week, we'll be back here on the postgame show. Be sure to tune in to 9:60 a.m. in the morning. Thank you so much for joining us here on the Neuse.com postgame show presented by Chris Humphrey Allstate. Thank you to Coach Jimmy Smith for joining me here in the studio. We'll see you next week.
We'll be better.